Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 1165, 1165. You see, my office is getting messier and messier. Oh, wrong way. Oh, look at those. Oh, there's piles, there's boxes. Let's just roll out of the picture here. Oh, what a mess. Scotty Dubs is coming over today. Scotty Dubs has something going on in the area. He's like, hey, you need any help like sorting? And I'm like, yes, come on over. Help me sort. So Scotty Dubs, I apologize. Actually, no, I don't. You get the real true experience of what the day-to-day life is at 1 Million Cubs headquarters, because it's usually like this. And then when a film crew comes, I've got to clean up. So then when you see photos and videos of it, it looks clean and tidy. And that's usually not the case. Usually it looks like what's behind me, piles of cards, boxes strewn about the rec room. I did pick up a little bit, but I was watching the draft last night. We're going to get into the draft today again. Which is fun because I had a football box from Sunday's collection purchase. By the way, check out my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Not adding too many more 99 cent cards, though. Actually, I did yesterday. I dropped prices on Topps Big League. I ripped and flipped a case of Topps Series 1, ripped and flipped a case of Topps Big League, and then ripped and flipped a case of Topps Heritage. The Heritage has just been, whew. I got to go in and check sales numbers on these rip and flip so I know what to do in the future. Topps Big League, that box is a lot more full than Heritage in Series 1. So I went in, but I also had prices at like $1.50 and $1.75. Topps, I think the commons at 99 cents because it's like I'm going to have to go back in and change these prices soon. But Series 1 was pretty swift. Heritage has been really swift. But Big League, I'm like, I still had a lot of $1.50 and $1.75 singles, commons. So I went in and adjusted pricing to 99 cents. And then I sold like right off the bat, Bobby Witt Jr., Jordan Walker. And I'm like, probably shouldn't have dropped those prices to 99 cents. So, hey, you might get a deal on Big League singles. And so I did. I guess I did add some 99 cent cards to my eBay store yesterday. Was flipping through. I added some autos. I added some first Bowmans yesterday to my eBay store. I wanted to find. I didn't know if there was going to be any Bowman U in these, and I don't think there is. I looked through most of the boxes now. No Bowman U, and I don't have any like hits from Bowman U, although I need to check my Bowman U box because I still have a bunch of Bowman U that are listed on eBay, but they may be at higher prices. I don't know. I'll go check it out today. But I did find in the football box, I was looking for like draft prospects. It's like, take advantage of the NFL draft tonight. I did find one, Xavier Worthy. It was a wild card auto, numbered out of 8. Now, for me as a collector, these wild card autos can be numbered 1 out of 1, means nothing to me as a collector. And I think for the most part, that's kind of the case. It's like there's a whole bunch of these, like numbered to 6, numbered to 8, numbered to 9, numbered to 10. So does it really add a premium? I don't know. But I listed it. There was I think one other on eBay for like $60, and I'm like, I'm just going to list it for 40. I think 60 is a little high. I thought 40 was high, but apparently not. It sold overnight. Actually, no. Did it sell? Did it sell or did I take an offer? It sold. It sold. I took an offer on JT Real Muto patch auto from Definitive, which I did accept that offer. So Xavier Worthy put it up for $40. He was drafted last night in the first round by the Chiefs, and somebody paid $40 for it. So I'm like, hey, great. So nice couple sales last night on those, on the Real Muto and the Xavier Worthy. Those were two cards that I didn't, think we're in this. I didn't expect to have as many $20, $40, $50 cards as what I've, uncovered so far. I didn't expect Jackson Holiday first Chromes. I didn't expect a whole bunch of Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rushman first Bowmans. So a lot of, like I mentioned the last couple days, a lot of $5 bills, $10 bills, and $20 bills and high and more, like last night. So, and I still haven't really gone through. There's is it Mariano Rivera? No, Jorge Posada. There's a couple of Jorge Posada autographs. There's a Goose Gossage. So fun stuff. And still, as you can see behind me, still looking. Although yesterday, as I really hammered down on shipping the last couple of days because I've been swamped with shipping. Yesterday was kind of a slower day on eBay, but now it's still higher than what my previous floor was, which is good. Raise the floor because, like I say, often eBay sales, you're going to have down days. You're going to have up days, down days, up days, and it's just out of your control sometimes. But what you can control is just listing good stuff, good prices, and eventually the buyers will come in and you can start turning those bad days into better bad days, raising the floor. And so Scotty Dubs in the house. Scotty Dubs crashing the pad today. I've got some Cubs cards ready for you. Although I've got some Bowman that the Cubs are easy, but maybe we'll sort some Bowman too. So yeah. Down day in sales yesterday, but it was kind of one of those where it wasn't like terribly down. And it was almost like, oh, this might give me a little breather to where I'm not shipping 300 items a day. So kind of needed a down day. But now, hey, let's go full bore into the weekend. Let's have some crazy sales days. I looked at my numbers yesterday. My month of April, I think I've already through 20, and it would have been through 24 days. 24 days in April. I think I had already set my April record, and these numbers date back. Well, these date back to my entire eBay history. But I started tracking numbers in 2021. Actually started tracking numbers late 2020 on a monthly basis, my net. Because I started to treat it as a full-time job in even a year before I went in full-time, because I wanted to see, is this going to be sustainable, and all that good stuff. So dating back to April 2021, best April that I've had. So that's good. That's good. And we want to have the best May next month. I've had a couple really good May and June for some reason have been really good historically in my eBay store. So we'll see. Let's see. Before we get into the chat, let's take Bink Scott's, keep it on eBay for a second. Bink Scott says, what's your profit on a 99 sale with free shipping? Negative 15 to 20 cents. Negative. So there is no profit on a single 99-cent sale. The idea, when I list Topps Big League and there's 2,000 or 1,000 from ripping a case, the idea is for the set builders, and I've seen it with Heritage so much over the last couple of weeks. They're not just buying one 99-cent card. Does that happen? Yeah. Does it happen often? Yes. However, the volume sales more than make up for that difference. So losing 15 to 20 cents, my thought is hopefully this is a returning customer. You draw them in. It's the Costco method. You draw them in with the rotisserie chicken or the pizza and hot dog, and then they go spend $200 in your store. So that's the thought process behind it. It does work. Tried and true method, just through my own experience. So that's the goal. Lose 15, 20 cents. Hopefully you gain a positive feedback, and hopefully you gain a customer that keeps coming back, and maybe next time they'll buy 2 cards at 99 cents, and then we're in the profit margin. Big Scott goes $1.89 with free shipping is my lowest. You are welcome. I do encourage you to sell for $1.89 as your floor. And I know a lot of people aren't doing this full time and may not have, if you're doing it part time, may not have the time to do 300 sales a day, 200 sales a day, 100 sales a day. And that's okay. So I get why some people would be like, I'm not losing money on a transaction. I get it. Like if I was doing this as a side hustle, and I would have zero interest in selling 99-cent cards with free shipping, but this is full time. So my job is to make sales and gain customers. But yeah, and I would do, if I was not doing this full time, if I was still doing this as a side hustle, and I did this as basically a full-time side hustle, but on a part-time basis for a few years. Like Tim's collect, like when Tim came up on Sunday and I bought all this stuff off of him, which Tim, awesome stuff, by the way. I've said it a couple times this week. I know he popped in the chat the other day. But I understand where he's coming from because he's not selling cards full time. And it's like a $5-10 bill to like us low volume, or high volume, low end sellers. That's gold, man. But to somebody that's doing it part time, I can see this is why you can get great deals, because if somebody's like, I've got the $100 cards and the $200 cards, and this is just bulk that I don't want. Like, to me, this is gold. And like the 91 Fleer Commons, to Tim, that was probably like 91 Fleer Commons. Like, get it out. I know there's money here. You make the money. I'll just take, a bulk sum, and I have extra space, and I don't have to deal with selling $5 cards. And to me, it's like, hey, I need more $5 cards. I've got plenty of $1.50 cards. So that's just the way it works. There was a thought process a thought that had crossed my mind in there, but now I can't remember what it was. Let's see. Mark says, how do you track your buying per card? I don't. When buying 10,000 cards. So say I buy 10,000 cards for $1,000. It's $1,000. It's the, what is it? Cash method, I think. There is no accrual. It's not as I sell. I don't break it down. I bought 10,000 cards for $1,000. So this is what, a penny a card or 10 cents a card. I don't break it down whatsoever. End of the month, I track my gross sales on eBay minus all the fees, and then I've got supplies, basically all that bullshit. Here's my costs that go into it. Here's my inventory cost. Say I spent $3,000 this month on inventory. Maybe next month I spend $300. You never know. So it's cash base. This month, this is April. What did I have as expenses in April? This purchase. Did I make any other inventory purchases in April? What did I do? Did I buy? I don't think I bought any inventory in Janesville. So this might be the only pre-order for Bowman, I think, was in April. My Heritage, I believe that went into March's ledger. So as far as inventory, it's $1,200 on this stuff, and probably about 800. So about 2,000. I spent about 2,000 on inventory this month between Bowman and this collection, because I don't think I bought. I'm trying to think of what else was in April. The Bowman that I bought, because I bought a bunch of stuff, but I think a lot of that was in March. I think I made some. I made some like $100, I think. Maybe $200 in Janesville, because I did buy some stuff from 5 Star. So about 200. So what was that? 2,200. Chris says 99-cent cards are loss leaders for higher priced cards. Yes, it is. I started trying it a month ago, and it works. Volume has increased, and there's some. I've mentioned, like, I solved the eBay algorithm, and I want to give it a full month before I produce a video, but I think I may put out a series of videos. Actually, I've been thinking about this for a while. I just need to sit down and write it out. I need to get my topics and in somewhat of a script because I want to do eBay sales videos in 60 seconds. So I want to talk about these topics, but only in 60 seconds because you don't want to listen to me talk about what I ate for dinner last night. You don't want to listen to me talk about my thoughts on the NFL draft or top social media or my latest Cubs purchase. And then at some point in the hour and a half video, we get to talking about eBay sales. So at least it'll be somewhat concise. And I don't want to, and I've had this suggested many times, I've thought about doing it, cutting up, okay, this is where you talk about eBay sales, but it's so like intertwined. I don't want to go back and listen to my own damn videos. So I get the frustration some people have with, I don't want to listen to you talk about gas station pizza. Talk about eBay. So 60-second eBay sales videos based on topics. And by the way, speaking of that, let's just start a list. What do you want? What would you like to hear 60-second topic videos on eBay sales? 99-cent cards is certainly one. Free shipping is going to be one. The algorithm is going to be one. I thought about something in the shower this morning. That's what I think about in the shower is eBay sales. Oh yes, it was two things you need. There we go. See, some of these I can't reveal until the video. Little teaser. So drop in the chat, or if you're watching in replay, drop in the comments. What would you like to hear a 60-second video on eBay sales? Philly Joe says packaging. We can touch on that. We can probably make a series on that in various ways because I do know that's a hot topic. How do you package? All right. So thank you for those, and we'll get to some of those in the future. Who knows when? When are you going to put those out? I have been thinking about it more and more. It's actually something I've been thinking about for several months. And it's just like, yeah, I'll get to it. Classic Bo. I'll get to it. Hey, we're going to play Name That Player later today at the end of my ramblings. We'll play Name That Player. Shit, I don't have cards. That was what I was supposed to do. I had one thing, and I forgot to do it. So I've got plenty of cards. Look at the piles behind me. We got plenty of cards to choose from. We'll play Name That Player. We're going to talk about the NFL draft today and top social media. I've been I wouldn't say very outspoken. At times I'm outspoken about in the past tops and their social media presence, or more importantly, lack thereof. But in the last several months, they have really turned things around with their engagement on social media. And they did something yesterday that we're gonna talk about. And I think I love what Topps has been doing with their social media lately. Brian Wolf, good morning. David's in the house. Good morning. Todd is here. What's happening? More excited, Caleb Williams or Pete Crow Armstrong? And Cubbies coming to Fenway this weekend. I'm jealous. I know I've got a few friends that are going to the game or games this weekend. I know the Littles, Luke's mom and dad are heading up to Boston today. I think they're on a flight right now. And funny thing, Luke Little from North Carolina grew up a Red Sox fan. And his mom says, I don't know how it happened. But Luke grew up a Red Sox fan in North Carolina. But I was trying to think of what his age. So he's in his mid-20s, maybe he's 26, 7, probably somewhere in there. No, I don't even think he's that old. He was he might have been in that weird 2025 round draft class. So let's just say he's 25. So 1999, were the Red Sox good? No, I don't think they were that good in the late 90s, were they? I can't remember. Todd would know. But anyway, yes, Cubs Red Sox this weekend. Am I more excited for Caleb Williams or Pete Crow Armstrong? Both of them? I'm not really excited about either. Caleb Williams, new Chicago Bears quarterback. I'm excited about the Chicago Bears. I am keeping an open mind on Caleb. I was very poo-poo on Caleb Williams. I wanted the Bears to keep Justin Fields, trade out of the number 1 pick. There are multiple needs still for the Chicago Bears. And I thought, hey, if we could trade down, we can get a couple needs in this draft. And then and pick up maybe something next year and fill in holes and do it through the draft the next couple, these little draft window, 2023, 4, and 5. Then they traded Justin Fields. It's like, but that's so once Justin Fields was traded, it's like, okay, it's Caleb Williams or bust. So we've got to trust the Chicago Bears to develop a quarterback, which they have never, ever done in the history of the franchise. Maybe Sid Luckman. They might have developed Sid Luckman in the 1930s. But the Bears, not a good quarterback franchise. So I guess I'm more excited for Caleb. I know what Pete Crow Armstrong can do. Caleb Williams is the unknown. I'm Team Caleb now. I have to be. There's no other choice. It's either Team Caleb or become a Packers fan. Oh, God, I just puked in my mouth. Donald, what's happening? Good morning. Value Box Digger says, soon it will be JJ to JJ for a touchdown. I'm happy for the Vikings. My buddy Kyle, diehard Vikings fan. And we used to do mock drafts and we would like do points and just for fun, like bragging rights. And this year it's like, I have no idea. And it's such a crapshoot. I think last year it's like we didn't even keep score anymore. So I had like multiple text strings talking about the draft. So Kyle and my buddy Neil, also a Bears fan, we were in a chat, and I'm like, man, I miss because we're all from Macomb, and not from Macomb, but we lived in Macomb. That's how we met in Macomb, and we would get together on draft night, drink beers, watch the draft. It's like, man, I miss Macomb days. NFL draft, Kyle's house. And so Kyle really wanted JJ McCarthy. And he's like, I want to trade up to get him, but I don't want to overpay. And they only had to trade up one spot, and the Vikings got JJ McCarthy. And then they were able, they traded up a second time, and the Vikings selected. So they traded up one spot to number 10 to get McCarthy, and then they traded up to 17 and got an edge rusher, Dallas Turner. So at this point in time, I hate draft grades because it means nothing today. A draft grade means absolutely nothing. You can't grade a draft until like 5 years down the road. But hey, right now, you can grade a draft today based on right now. You can say the Vikings the Bears hit one out of the park. Obviously, number one, I think you do hit it out of the park if you have the number 1 pick. If you don't, you're fucked. But they got Roma Dunze at number 9, wide receiver. So it's like, ooh, that offense. Shane, good morning. David says, if new football cards are going to be more popular, this is the year. Lots of quarterbacks drafted in the first round. 6 quarterbacks, not just in the first round, but 6 quarterbacks in the first 12 picks. But you know what? Are any of them sexy picks? I think a couple were Bo Nix. I'm not big on JJ McCarthy. Michael Penix Jr. at number 8. Drake May. I think Drake May is going to be a bust. But I don't know shit about, Caleb Williams. I'm not like everybody. Oh, generational talent. They say generational talent about every number 1 overall pick. Not all of them are generational talent. Sure, most of them. We went through the list yesterday. Most of them, I wouldn't say most of them were generational, but there's a few in there. I think we use that term a little too loosely. Generational talent. Because there's not too many. There's not too many generations. So what is a generational talent? Shane says, I'm sure football cards will be pricey when the rookies come out. Caleb Williams has a Fanatics contract. His Topps Now Auto Relics went on sale. I almost pulled the trigger. Not because I wanted a Caleb Williams card in my collection, but because I wanted to flip it. $700. $700 for a Caleb Williams auto through Topps last night. And they sold out in, I think, 15 minutes. There were only... what was the numbers on it? Like 600, 500. I was trying to do the math because there's of 99s, of 75s, of 50s, and then there was another batch. So I think there was like 600 altogether. So yeah, Bears breaks. If you're a Chicago Bears fan and you buy into breaks, sorry for your bank account with Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze as first round picks. Philly Joe, good morning. Free for all. It's the free for all. James says, so funny to hear these Bears fans saying franchise quarterback flashbacks of Justin Fields and Mitch Trubisky. Yeah, and so on. Mitch Trubisky and Justin Fields, Mitch Trubisky. And now we have Caleb Williams. Hopefully we don't fuck him up. Sal Dougie, good morning. Herman's in the house. Good morning. Value Box Digger says, a Midwest Minnesota guy taken in pick 4 was pretty cool. Oh, who was that? 4. Who was number 4? Marvin Harrison Jr. And he went, and it played out pretty much how we all thought. Caleb Williams, we knew was going number 1. Jaden Daniels, we assumed was going 2. Drake May. That's kind of where things got a little like, what's going to go on? Well, the Patriots are keeping it. So I think knowing the Patriots were keeping the number 3 pick, we all assumed it was going to be Drake May. And then with the quarterbacks falling where they did, I'm like, shit. Okay, Patriots take Drake May. Number 4, it's going to be the Cardinals. They're going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. Joe Alt going to the Chargers at 5. Here, I'll just show. I was a little surprised at Joe Alt going 5 to the Chargers. That was probably my first surprise. Like when it got to, I didn't know what the Patriots were going to do at 3. I thought it was a foregone conclusion. 1 and 2 would go that way. But once the Patriots took May, we pretty much knew Marvin Harrison was going to the Cardinals. A little surprised by Joe Alt then to the Chargers at 5. Then the Giants take Malik Neighbors, and I'm like, damn it. Because that's the guy I wanted. I really wanted Marvin Harrison Jr., but Malik Neighbors, I would have taken him too, and I would have traded up for either of those guys. And I think probably what happened is, and I don't know who the Bears had at the top of their wide receiver board or who they wanted at number 9. Obviously, I mean, it looks to me, based on how this draft went, and who was available at number 9, because it's like, well, will the Bears go offensive tackle or edge rusher? Or if Rome Odunze is still there at 9, I think the Bears go with him. And that's exactly how it fell out. So obviously, the edge rushers, because no defensive player went until pick 15 or 14? 15. So we knew it wasn't going to be an edge rusher. We knew the Bears didn't place an emphasis on edge rusher at that number 9 slot as it fell. Or Olu Fashanu at offensive tackle. 2 tackles went above the Bears, Alt and Latham. I think if Alt was still there at 9, the Bears probably would have went with him, but Chargers took him at 5. Let's see. So Neighbors at 6 to the Giants. And these were the Chargers and Giants were wild cards. I don't like who were they going to go with? And then the Titans come along. They take tackle Latham. And that was like, oh, didn't know that was coming. Number 8, the Falcons surprised the world and reached for Michael Penix Jr. We call it a reach today, but maybe in 5 years, he's the best quarterback in the class. That's how things work. So you never know. And then the Bears take Rome Odunze at number 9. I was happy with that. Vikings trade up, get McCarthy. Jets go Olu Fashanu. I'm sure they all booed. And he's probably a future Hall of Famer. Denver Broncos take the 6th quarterback. Bo Nix out of Oregon. When the Broncos took him, I'm like, Bo Nix. Bo Nix was one guy that I'm like, 2nd or 3rd round talent. I think he's going to be another Paxton Lynch. When the Broncos drafted Bo Nix, I'm like, oh, Paxton Lynch all over again. Georgia boy Brock Bowers goes to the Raiders. Taliesi Fuaga, offensive tackle, goes to the Saints. Laiatu Latu was the first defensive player, first time ever in the NFL draft, whether it be offensive players or defensive players that they went. I think it was like 13 picks. I think the previous record was like 12. 15 picks until we get a defensive player. And then here, instead of me rambling on, nothing really stood out here the rest of the draft. Darius Robinson, defensive end out of Missouri. He's a guy that's been climbing the draft boards. Xavier Worthy, I'm glad he got drafted there because my $40 auto sold last night. And then a couple wide receivers to round out the first round. Pearsall out of Florida. Leggett out of South Carolina. So that was round 1 of the NFL draft. Round 2 is at round 2 and 3 tonight. And then we get rounds 4 through 7 on Saturday. I used to love the set. Is that how it works? But I think it's in prime time now on Saturday. It used to be, and I think they time crunched it. Remember back in the day, the NFL draft I loved NFL draft Saturday because it started at like 11 a.m. And I think they had longer to pick. And so it was like 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7. I just freaking loved it. I freaking loved it. Now I think I think they start at I think it goes into prime time. But that's the NFL draft talk. Scotty Dubs, he's coming over to help me sort today. He got some good sleep. Feels like he's going to need it. Kyle, good morning. What's happening? Value Box Digger says, when overpaying for rookies, remember 21, when 3 quarterbacks drafted first, Lawrence, Wilson, Lance. And it's happened, I think last night was the 4th. Was it the 4th time quarterbacks went 1, 2, and 3? It's never happened 1, 2, 3, 4. 2021 was the last time they went 1, 2, 3. And I think there was another year recently. And then I think there was 99, I think was the first time. And that was another, it seems like when quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, that seems to be like the shitty draft classes of quarterbacks. 1, 2, 3 quarterbacks drafted. I don't know how to type this in. 99 was Tim Couch went 1. I think Donovan McNabb went 2. 71. 99 was the second time. So last night was the 4th time. 1971, which was the best of the bunch. Well, so far, the jury's still out on 2021. We've only had 3 complete seasons. Not much to draw on yet. But 1971, it was Jim Plunkett, Archie Manning, and Dan Pastorini. So that's a pretty good 1, 2, 3 punch. 1999 was Tim Couch, Donovan McNabb, and number 3 was Achilles Smith. Not so good. And then 2021, we had Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. Doesn't look good for the class of 2021. Lawrence is playing well. Not to the hype that he had coming out of Clemson, but he's certainly not a bust. Wilson and Lance could be busts. But again, still young, still time to turn the tide. Good morning, Bink. Let's see. We got to some of the eBay questions. Victor's in the house. Good morning. Hey, Cubs win last night or yesterday afternoon. That was a sweep. David says Topps now has top 3 draft picks all ready for sale. Yes, you can get the base card. I think all the autos have sold out, but the base cards are available at Topps. Christian, good morning. Heard the Bears drafted Andre Ware. Mark's in the house. Good morning. Mark Marinello is here. I'm actually happy with the Jets. Hey! A Jets fan happy? Let me look. What? I'm shocked. Olu Fashanu with the Jets. Am I happy with Williams? I mean, if the Bears, I would have been pissed if the Bears took anybody but Caleb Williams. Am I happy? I wanted the Bears to keep Justin Fields, but that didn't happen. So am I happy with Caleb Williams the way things played out? Yes. If they would have taken Jaden Daniels or Drake May, I would have become a Packers fan if the Bears drafted Drake May. Didn't want him. Jaden Daniels, I would have been like, okay, but you could have traded down to number 2 and do a little flip-flop with Washington and still drafted Jaden. I would assume that Washington wouldn't have traded up to number 1 to take Jaden Daniels. So as it played out, yes, I am happy with Caleb Williams, because if it was anything but, I would have been unhappy. Mark says, I have a buddy who is a Bears fan who wanted Jaden Daniels. I wouldn't have been, if the Bears took, I would have been unhappy if the Bears took Jaden Daniels number 1. Because I think most teams would have taken Caleb Williams number 1. And I think Washington, if Caleb Williams was there at number 2, Washington would have taken, or if Washington had the number 1 pick, they would have taken Caleb Williams. So if the Bears traded down to number 2, got an extra pick, extra first round, whatever it was, and took Jaden Daniels number 2, I would have been okay with that, because you get a little something extra. But I would have been not happy with Jaden Daniels as the number 1 pick. Philly Joe, packaging. So storage. Okay, so back to some eBay topics. Storage is a good one. And that kind of goes, that might tie in with another topic I had. Organization. Ooh, that's a perfect one. Organization. Perfect. Ooh, JSaw cards. Oh, we got some good stuff coming on. Promotion levels. Price of card versus percent used. Okay. Percent versus price. Okay, that's a good one. SEO. You know, I went hard into SEO when I was blogging, and I've got books on SEO. I was reading up a lot on SEO, and I do not optimize my eBay store. So maybe I should do a little research, and maybe I should put that to work. Card Hobbyist says acquisition bookkeeping, and so I kind of touched on this earlier, but that is something that, you know, if people are starting to do this or getting in, may need to know that acquisition bookkeeping is something that, you know, you got to do cash method. Otherwise, you're gonna chase your tail. Sometimes it's fun if I buy a small lot. So let's say I cherry pick $100 out of the dollar box. Say I pick out, I don't know. Say I get them at 80 cents a card. So I get 100 cards for $80. That's the easier math. Say I get 100 cards for $80. I've got $80. And I like to, assign, you know, they're all dollar cards. So 80 cents per card. Track every one. It's a pain in the ass, but for basically just clicks and social media interaction engagement, it's fun. I strongly discourage doing that for accounting because you'll spend all your time tracking numbers and no time listing and shipping. So you buy something for $100, it's $100. You don't have to break it down for cost. Now, if you want to blog about it, do a YouTube video about it, tweet about it, Instagram about it, then it's some fun. It's content. You know, hey, I spent $80 on these 100 cards. Look how much money I made. That's good content. I enjoy those videos. Tea timer, top of the morning. Zach says Tops hit rock bottom when they went all in on some Cubs super collector, rock bleeding bottom. Well, that's when I thought they started doing really good. I like that Cubs guy. Just George, what's going on? Good evening to you. Orlando is here. What's happening? Michael, what's going on? Good morning. Mark says the Sox lost to the Yanks in the 1999 ALCS. Okay. But they had not won. When was the Red Sox World Series? 2004? So, maybe, because I'm thinking of when he was. So we're talking about Luke Little growing up a Red Sox fan. Luke Little, Cubs. And I'm trying to think. So, he was born in 2000. So yeah, he would have been, the Red Sox, like as he's coming up, and I'm trying to compare, like basically trying to do the numbers here. Like when I first started getting into baseball, became a Cubs fan, I was probably 4 years old, 5 years old. And that matches up. Luke was born in 2000. Red Sox win the World Series. Was it 04? Yeah, because the White Sox won in 05. So that adds up. And there was that was the first time they won a World Series since 1917 or something. It was a long, long time. They had was it second longest drought behind the Cubs. Let's see. Bink says, can you set up your store where you have $1.89 cards, buy 3 or more at 99 cents each? I believe you can do it. I think you have to manually set up, though. I don't think you can just say only $1.89 cards. I think you have to manually select, which you can do bulk edits, so it's pretty easy. So like what I do when I went in to reprice my Topps Big League to 99 cents, they were all at, I think, $1.50, somewhere at $1.75. I just type in my active listings, 2024 Topps Big League, and then I would sort it from lowest to highest, and then I would just select all. I think it's like 200 per page. I would select all, and then there were some at the bottom. It's like, okay, the inserts I don't want at 99 cents just yet. So deselect some of those, and then you can probably set up. You would have to do that through promotion. So I actually don't know. I'm trying to talk it out. There's probably a way to do it, but you're probably going to have to do it manually. I don't think you can just set a rule to where it's based on price. You might be able to do that. I don't know if anybody in here knows if you can. There's probably a way, but it's probably over my head. Scotty Dub says, if I am late this morning, please come find me, probably in a ditch on Highway 151, because I tried to play Name That Player while. Don't text and drive. Scotty Dubs, don't text and drive. Shane says there was a really bad stat they brought up last night in the draft. The Bears are the only team in the NFL to not have a quarterback throw for more than 4,000 yards in a season. Yep. As a Bears fan, I'm well aware of that stat. Kyle, good morning. I am more excited about Ditka getting Rome at number 9. Crossing my fingers. Caleb is the man. Same here. James says Topps Chrome Platinum looks sharp. Bears have never had 30 passing touchdowns in a season either. Michael says, just getting started selling cards on eBay and really enjoyed your shows. Thank you. Quick question. Would you start an eBay store right away or get some steady sales going before starting one? I guess it kind of depends on where you're at. I would probably get some sale. Utilize your free listings first. And then go into, I would not recommend the starter store, which is like the $5 per month. Just go from your, because I don't think you get any additional listings. You get some of the benefits of having a store, but I don't feel it's worth it. Just go into the first stage, which is is it basic? A basic store. But first utilize, and this kind of goes along with going from basic to premium. You have to make the decision. Do you go to Anchor or not? But first I would use up all your listings, your monthly listings. Also make sure that, I don't know how new your account is, but you may have restrictions on how many sales and how many listings you can have in a month. So you're going to have to look at that. If you're only allowed to list 500 items in a month, there's no sense in getting a store where you're only going to be adding, you're paying $25 a month, but you're only getting 25 or what's the math? 250 additional listings. I think I got a sneeze coming along. Excuse me. So first look if you have any restrictions. If it's like if it's 10,000 or 20,000 or higher on listings per month, then I would say use up your allotted free listings and then go from there. I wouldn't just come out banging. I just wouldn't come out and say I'm doing an eBay store. I would, do some sales, get comfortable with it, and then jump in the deep end. Take a lap in the shallow end and then swim out to the deep end. But also it's important to look at those if you have any restrictions, because eBay is gonna make you wait, and it's a battle against time. You can do a bunch of transactions. Eventually, they will give you more listings, in more sales, and then eventually, as you do a ton of volume, and actually it doesn't even have to be a ton of volume, they'll just take away any restrictions, and you won't have any dollar restrictions or listing restrictions. Neil says, but you will have to pay. Neil says, good morning. Pats pick up May. Still need O-line and wide receivers. Otherwise, he will struggle. Peter's in the house. Happy Friday. Max says, so glad that purple team screwed Jefferson's start to his career. Could have been a problem in the North. That's true. Flawed Thinker, good morning. McCarthy was a huge overdraft because of a trophy. A lot of people are big on JJ McCarthy. I'm not big on this quarterback class at all. Like from top to bottom, from Caleb Williams, it's like I don't think Caleb Williams is all that in a bag of chips. Do people still say that anymore? All that in a bag of chips. Value Box Digger says, LOL, not big on JJ McCarthy. Guys, 63-3 since high school. Of course you're not big on him. You enjoy losing for draft picks all season long. So, hey, that's sometimes when you're put in that position, that's what there's a big difference between going 63-3 in high school and college than going 63-3 or 10-7 in the NFL. So we'll see. Johnny M, I'm pissed the Jets passed up Bowers. Steel Cards, I think Bo Nix will be the best quarterback drafted this year. Wow. I think he's going to be Paxton Lynch. Mark says Aaron Rodgers wanted them to draft a lineman. And you do what Aaron says. Did Will Grier get drafted? Art Green's in the house. Resting up to dig through bargain boxes in Toronto. Preview night yesterday was a smashing success. Very nice. Toronto's one of those shows. It's like it's a destination, but not for me. Too much hockey. I've heard it's like 80% hockey. But my buddy Tom Coleman would love it. What's up, Tom? Tom would love the Toronto Expo. Max says Williams, May, Daniels, all first rounders, maybe Penix late, but the other two, ouch. Yeah, JJ McCarthy was all over mock drafts. I mean, he was like a top 5 pick, and then all of a sudden he fell off the first round board, and then he climbed back up over the last month or two. I was shocked by Penix going that high. Williams, May, and Daniels, I think we all knew that they were going to be first rounders. I'm shocked at Bo Nix being that high. Shocked at Penix going that high. Value Box Digger says Ops pick 5 must have been then. Kyle says Christian Ponder, Brandon Weeden, Jamarcus Russell, Mitch Trubisky were all first round draft picks. First round quarterback odds are you were getting Tim Couch, not Peyton Manning or Andrew Luck. Yeah, you look at the number 1 overall picks, and it's actually it's not as bad as and Tim Couch played a couple years, but it's certainly not number 1 overall pick. Jamarcus Russell, big time bust, but overall the number 1 overall pick usually has a decent a floor of a decent career. Now, does it live up to the number 1 overall pick hype? No, but it's not a complete bust like Couch or a Russell. Value Box Digger says, whoops, pick 5 was Minnesota guy Joe Alt. I was like, I didn't know Marvin Harrison Jr. was from Minnesota. Joe Alt, that makes sense. Belichick, shit all over the May pick. Interesting. Roma Dunze is a beast. I would be super happy with him. I am very happy with Roma Dunze. The Falcons threw everyone into a frenzy. Yeah, that was like, what? Max says, what the draft should tell us is nobody cares about defense anymore. Or that there was no good college. Defense wasn't good in college this year. Mr. Archer, good morning. Value Box Sticker says nearly every player people are excited over are the nobodies by the end of the career, any sport. Jackson Holliday's played 2 weeks in Major League Baseball. I think we could give him, let's give Jackson a little longer leash. BD816, Buffalo needs to block KC phone numbers. Veach strikes again. Shane says, I feel the NFL is slowly crawling towards NCAA type football. And it does seem to be going that way. Offense. If you happen to have a decent defense, then it's a bonus. But I think, isn't that what fans want? Don't we crave offense? Do we get excited? Look at the hobby. Does the hobby collect defensive players? Nope. Yes, I know some people might. But where's all the big money? Quarterbacks. Where's the second big money? Wide receivers, running backs. People want touchdowns, not tackles. Touchdowns, not tackles. Nothing against lefties, but name a decent one. Can't. Shane can. Vic. Let's see. James says, yeah, but Falcons gave Cousins $150 million. Shane says, Steve Yount, Mark Brunell. Kenny Stabler. They booed DeBrickashaw Ferguson too. Jets fans are idiots. Max says, not many. Good morning, Porter. Max says, can make a lot of money buying and selling first-round quarterbacks until they start playing. Remember that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Case in point, Caleb Williams last night. You buy a $700 autograph of Caleb Williams. Most people are like, that's fucking crazy. You will make money. If you spent $700 last night on a Caleb Williams autograph, you will make a lot of money on that. Even I think of 99 is the lowest. You sell that in training camp, by the time hopefully you get it by then, I think you will. You will make a profit. I almost clicked buy. I had one in my cart and it's like, I know I can make money, but what if? There's always the what if. It's like, if I was just playing like, oh, this is just pissing away gambling money, but this is a business. I don't gamble when it comes to business. So you can make money. You can make money. Now, don't buy a $700 Caleb Williams autograph and sit on it hoping he becomes a Hall of Famer, because that likely won't happen. I made a lot of money on Trevor Lawrence cards. If I would have held those until today and tried to sell them today, I would have lost a lot of money. I think when prospecting comes up and like, oh, well, look at this guy. Shouldn't have invest. And it's like, well, you can make money. It's not all holding everything until the end of time. People made a lot of money on Greg Jeffries. People made a lot of money on Kevin Moss. People made a lot of money on Andre Ware. People made a lot of money on Tim Couch and Achilles Smith. And the people that made a lot of money on those guys did not hold them. It's like a hot potato. Shane says, well, when 10% of the world is left-handed and less than 1% of sports players play professionally, you don't get a lot of left-handed options. Boom. There you go. Flawed Thinker, looks like their video of the Falcons owner questioning the coach after their pick. He's like, what the fuck are we doing? I just paid Kirk Cousins. Max says, I wouldn't touch one based on their track record and to trade up. Value Box Digger says, Herman, the Falcons realized in what 40 days they effed up by signing Cousins. He's not a playoff QB. Donald Davis, what supplies are used for shipping cards and what price we should pay for supplies? There you go. Supplies. I think acquisition is a good one. Acquisition of supplies. What do you use to keep track of supplies and inventory and purchases? I think that's a good bookkeeping. There you go. That'll go in the bookkeeping. Todd, Sox won in 04 and 07, broke the 86-year curse in 2004. Good morning, Jody. What's up? Brian's in the house. Good morning. I sent 13 cards, PWE, a few days ago. Hopefully it gets to the buyer. I have done up to, I think 14 is the max using 3 ounces. And that was a lot of like thin card, like the thinner stock cards. If it's like Topps Heritage, I think 10 is kind of my max. Maybe 11. Joe says you can select your store category and put a price range for each category for cards included in your offer. Thank you, Mark. Boy, we're only 10 minutes behind. Woohoo! Breakfast date with my wife for Philly Joe. Have a great weekend. Good luck with Name That Player. Kyle says, I realize it's not feasible for you and many on here, but eBay algorithm loves one-day handling time. Yes. And that is not for me. Flawed Thinker says there's a great video that came out yesterday of the Redskins retiring Darrell Green's number in a surprising way, almost a tearjerker. Max says fans want wins, at least this one does. Most fans want high-scoring wins. Value Box Seeker says, okay, Wander Franco then for hype in cards to career. Steve Young, Zion. Card Hobbyist. I made a lot of money on Zion too. Card Hobbyist says most football fans don't want the 10-3 defensive battles with a lot of punting. Amen. You want the win, but you're not going to enjoy a 10-3 win. You have a 42-40 win. You're going to enjoy that a lot more than a 10-3 win. At least I do. Greg Jeffries. Made a lot of money on Greg Jeffries. Johnny M. I prefer defensive football. NFL has made football an offensive game with the stupid rules they have now. I love old-time football when you could hit players without a penalty. Yeah, it does. I get why the rules are the rules the way they are, but it is not as fun. Dan's in the house. What's going on? Let's see. Value Box Digger says, you're not guaranteed to make money on buying. I guarantee it. I guarantee you make money. It's all about time. Don't hold it. By the time you get the Caleb Williams autograph, you'll get the Williams autograph. I don't know when they're delivered. If you sell it when you receive it, you will make money. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. $6.99. I guarantee it. Don't wait. Don't wait until the season or training or, maybe something does happen. I shouldn't guarantee. You shouldn't guarantee anything. But I would put money on it. You bought a $700 Caleb Williams autograph last night. You will make money. Don't hold on to it. Don't wait until the end of the season. Don't wait until the middle of the season. Sell it right away. Maybe you wait till the end of the season. It does go up. It's tops now. Probably not. But you will make money. Max says this is where a lot of people get lost in prospecting baseball. Yes, people think, oh, this guy's going to be the next best. You sell at the peak. When is the peak? Nobody knows. You just have to use experience to realize that's probably not going to be the next Mike Trout. Very well could be the next Greg Jeffries. But remember, a lot of people made a lot of money on Greg Jeffries by selling, not by holding. Shane says, you do gamble with your business money. You get cases of cards. It's not a gamble, though. I don't, buying a case, ripping and flipping is not a gamble because I have done this enough to know that most of the time I will make money back. And that's why I choose products where there's going to be a return based on the base cards. It would be a gamble if I bought cases of National Treasures or name your high-end product. I wouldn't say Top Series 1 is a gamble. I wouldn't say Topps Big League is a gamble based on what I do because I sell everything. If I was buying a case and hoping for autographs that would pay my case back, that's a gamble. But by piecing it out, ripping and flipping, not a gamble. It certainly could be a gamble, but not in the way that I proceed with ripping and flipping. Max says the smart model doesn't have Jackson Holiday or Churio anymore. They'd be long gone. Yes. Amen. I still have some some of my Jackson Holiday came in this most recent purchase, but what Max is saying, if you bought Jackson Holiday 3 months ago, you should have sold it by now. And you're on to the next guy. Because what could happen? Jackson Holiday gets called up. Yay! and then he bats 0.59. And that's why you sell. Brian loves card investors. Make it easy to clear out my $2 to $3 rookies. There you go. Johnny M says, I'm a firm believer in selling ASAP. You win some, you lose some. Yeah, and sometimes you got to sometimes you just got to, say prospect X is you bought in at $10, it got to 20, and you're like, oh, what if it gets to 30? And you held, and now it's at 8, and you're like, well, I can't take a loss on this. But instead of losing $2, you wait, and now it's $6, and now you're down $4 in your quote investment, and then it's $5. You keep losing. Well, maybe it's going to go back up, and you play that game, and now it's in a dollar box, and you've basically pissed away your $10 investment. Uncle Rich, good morning. He's on time for Name That Player. We're getting to it. I've got to pick out some cards. We're doing well with the like button, but it could always be better. Oh, that's good to hear. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Matt, Iowa Hawkeye fans love a good 10-3 win. A lot of them last year, right? A lot of low-scoring Hawkeye games. Flawed Thinker sent 7 cards in an envelope that I sold for $8. Shipped. Guy left feedback saying he wasn't happy they weren't top-loaded and that it took too long, but then said the cards looked great. Yeah, you get all kinds. Max says, I don't think anybody is arguing 42-40 is versus 10-7 is more enjoyable to watch. Well, that's the thing. We want wins, but we want high-scoring wins. I want them both. Dan finished Black Mirror. I don't think I've seen that or heard of it. Max says that Williams would go for well over a G. Tell me you sell value box cards without telling me, he says. Value Box Digger says, if you guarantee money on high dollar cards, why do you sell $1.50 cards? Because it's my business. I should have bought a $700. I had it in my cart, and it's like, well, do I do this? Because $700 is going to be tied up for probably a couple months before it's delivered. Do I spend $700 on a bunch of $1.50 cards that I can sell right now? Or do I spend $700 on one card and have to wait to get that money back? I may have to wait 2 or 3 months to get that card. I will make money on it, but I'll also make money on the $700 box of $1.50 cards. And I can do it faster. Now, in that one foul swoop, I can make a $300 profit right now, as opposed to I'm putting a lot more work into the $1.50 cards, but that's the path I chose. Shane says, we sure as shit don't, but we would enjoy 24-3 wins, but it doesn't matter anymore. Iowa will never be able to contend with the Big Ten now. Max says, now if that was a JJ McCarthy and you bought it for $5, you might make $1 when you got it back. You should be buying and selling fast for bigger profits with less work than if it's guaranteed money. And that's what I do. I buy and sell fast for profits, not bigger profits. But that's not my business. That's not my business. That's not the path I choose. Flawed Thinker says, after buying some eBay cards, I am done buying until Bowman comes out unless I see a great deal. Bowman. Now that, going back to Shane's comment, that is a gamble. I bought 3 boxes of Bowman at $250 a box. That's a gamble. Am I going to get my money back on Bowman? If I get it a couple days before release, like last year, made bank on it. You know, you're selling first Bowman Chromes for like $20 when they're going to be $2 in a couple months. And I did that last year on, I don't think in last year's, because it was, I bought blasters last, I bought 10 blasters at pre-sale. And I didn't pull a big, huge card. It was all on base Chromes basically and some color. I think I did pull a few autos, but they were like $30 and $40 autos. Nothing big out of last year's blasters. Max says, with that logic, buying singles is just as much of a gamble, but track record shows certain products are guaranteed return on a full case. Yeah. There's a lot of gambles where you take in the dollar box and the quarter box. Just a smaller gamble. I do take a gamble on sometimes in a $5 box. It's like, well, I think I might be able to move this. It's liquid. If I can sell it for $8, I know I can sell it for $8 fast. I might break even on this, but could drive traffic into my store. Somebody say it's a Mike Trout numbered card, sell it for $8. If I sell just that card, it's a break even for what I paid for it, but maybe somebody comes in, sees that, and buys other Mike Trouts, and I make a bigger sale. George says, Greg had a solid career, wasn't a superstar, but lasted longer than many, was a stud with the Cardinals. Yeah. And that's Greg Jeffries, Ben McDonald. Like, we look back, those guys were bust. They weren't, they had good careers. Todd Van Poppel had a long career. Those guys, I mean, they worth the money at the time in 1988 for Greg and 1990 for Ben McDonald. They didn't pan out to those values. Nothing did from that time. But they had good careers. Kyle says, you take a calculated risk ripping and flipping, not a gamble. That's a good way to put it. Calculated risk. Mark says, how do you get your coupon to promote on your store page? You have to create a coupon under promotions, and that'll show up. If you do just like a volume discount, and that's what I did for the longest time, and people were saying, hey, I don't see your thing on your search when I'm in your store. So you got to go into create a coupon. And I call it a coupon, not a coupon. Max says, do you realize how quickly he makes the $250 by spending way less than $700? That's also a good point. Packers fans, pretty hurt that Vikings got a QB. They are the only ones complaining about the pick. Shane says, too much offense is boring. 42-40 all the time would not be fun to watch. There has to be some defense. I'll agree with that. That is a good point. 20-17, 24-17 is a good game. Max offense I really enjoy is 35-28. But sometimes I like a good 42-0 shellacking. When your offense is humming, I don't want to be on the other end of it, but I enjoy a good 42-0 blowout as long as my team is winning. Brian says, I paid $299 for Kenny Pickett Topps Now First. Sold for $2,300. Got to be fast with grading and listing. There you go. And now what's it worth? See? If Brian would have waited until now, what's one sell for today? Flawed Thinker says it's all about turnover time and flipping. Same idea Chasing Cardboard explains on their show. Buy whatever, but make sure you can break even ASAP without doing much work. Amen. You get as I was going through the stuff that I bought this weekend on Sunday, this is a perfect example of what I want to show people that want to sell me junk for $1,000. Like, well, there's 50,000 cards here. You sell $1.50 cards in your store. It's like, yeah, but this is a bunch of, they're all rookies, but nobody's buying 2021 Topps rookie cards and first Bowmans of guys that aren't panning out. Those just sit. And I'm not going to, $1,000 for something like that is stupid. I paid $1,200 for 40,000. Yeah, there's some commons. There's a bunch of no-name rookies and first Bowmans, but there's a lot of good stuff here. There's a lot of patch autos, $40 here, $30 there, $20, 10, 5, 10, 5. I want to show people, but then people, you're just blowing smoke up my ass. Because there's 50,000 cards, 100,000 cards here. This is a deal for $1,000. No, it's not. If it's a deal, why don't you start selling those cards and come back and tell me? Where are we at? The bigger cards make you break even, but the little cards are where you make your profit. Absolutely. Coupon. Is that what you meant, Dan? Coupon? Max says, correct, Flawed. The work is where you make the profit. Coupon. It's like the letter Q, P-O-N. Coupon. Max says, I'm tickled that you idiots are happy about McCarthy. Oh, Packer fan throwing darts at the Vikings. I was more scared with Cousins. Now it's just another guaranteed 2 wins a year. More scared of the Osos down south. Enjoy the cellar. Kyle says running backs and defense underappreciated. I agree. And underused. Underused, is that a word? Underutilized? Shane says everyone pretends like the Marshawn Lynch run never happened against the Saints. Running backs are awesome. Let's play Name That Player. And I'm not prepared. Yeah. No, I've got a lot of cards in here, but I don't know if they're good Name That Player cards. I guess we're just gonna have to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. Dan says it's coupon. All right, Dan, coupon. All right, Dan says coupon. All right, I think we've used some of these. Damn it! I don't like what I have here. What's up here? We're gonna play Name That Player. Hey, visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Yes, I love the pick of Rome Odunze at number 9. I love the pick of. Oh, this is good. This is good. What's this? Who that is? Oh, is Kyle here? Because look what I found. Oh. Look what I found. I have my little stack of NASCAR. Okay, so we've got some NASCAR today on Name That Player. What do we have over here? I think we've used those. What's over here? No, I think we used those. Let me go grab a box. Like I don't have enough in here. Or you know what? Here's some football. We can grab some baseball here. All right. Talk amongst yourselves. Ooh, that's a good one. We're going to go kind of in the weeds today. Why are these upside down? Is the whole binder upside down? All righty. Like that one. That one. We're going to do some football. Going to do some NASCAR. And we'll do some baseball. Here, we'll do an easy one. That's a cool. I like that card. Let's see. Let's try to find an offensive lineman. I know how y'all like offensive linemen. Ooh, here's a good one. Defense. Not enough defense. Let's do oh, here's a good one. All right. One more. Oh. I gotta go with defense. Okay, so there's football. And let's do this guy, that guy, and this guy. Okay, I think we have enough now. Here we go. Let's see. Coupon. Shane says, do you have any more Turtles cards in there? If not, I'll go get ready for work. No more Turtles. Max says, Bears fans got to be thrilled. We love the no-name players. On CC, Chasing Cardboard, it's always stressed about how much they think it will cost to deal with their purchases. Yeah, and I really enjoyed this week's. Their recent episodes have been really good. I think all of them are good, but I don't know. I've really enjoyed the last few. Dan says no racing cards. Tough shit, Dan. Dan requested non-sports last week, and Dan, you didn't score a single point on your own request. Come on, man. Rich says that is figured into the amounts they pay. Absolutely. And that's what I think. It's like, okay, there's a lot of bulk here, but there's a lot of stuff that's just going to sit in my store and not sell. Matt says, boo to NASCAR cards. Shane says, I heard NASCAR. Have a great day. Dan says, no post-2000 wrestling. There's no wrestling. I think post-2000 wrestling gets better. Those 90 Classic, which I thought everybody knew who was in that set. Nobody even knows. Herman says, throw in some NASCAR. We got some NASCAR. Bo should have had a stack of first-round busts. We're doing just that. Talk amongst yourselves. Matt says, more random football cards from the 80s and 90s in honor of the draft. I do have some not 90s or newer. Dan says to Herman, go feed your hens. Shane says, flashback to high school. Talk amongst yourselves as I figure out what we're going to do. Yes, that's exactly what it is. The biggest winner of NASCAR may be the Not Gotten. The Not Gotten. Basketball, hockey too, says Max. Where are we at? Dan says, take out your My Little Pony binder and share some of those for the game. The Bears would be just enough on that front. Mark Martin is the best NASCAR driver of all time to never win a championship. And Rich says, Mark Martin, easily recognizable. I'm going to tell you, Mark Martin is not the answer to our NASCAR Name That Player today. Next week, we will do an athletes only. No NASCAR, wrestling, or dead entertainers. We haven't done one of those in a while. Okay, let me get these sorted somewhat. We'll do that. We'll throw in a NASCAR, baseball, football. We'll do football back-to-back. That one. Baseball. Football. Football. Baseball. NASCAR. Football. All right. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, 15. That's a good number. That's a good number. All right. I liked with it last week where I didn't have to cover up. I also like doing the notepads. All right, let's get that scoreboard rolling. Max has a big lead, 34 points. Let me get my YouTube video up so we don't have any drama. Free for all. Okay. All right. Brian just ran out of 6 3/4 envelopes. Using number 10 for one card is like wearing a Magnum condom. You know, I'm a big fan. I've gone from number 10s to number 6s for my single card sales, and I really love them. And I get what you're saying. It's like now if I run out of small envelopes and I go back to my big ones, it's like, damn, I miss my small envelope. You can kind of see. I don't know. All right, here we go. All right, Shane's out of here. Brian says throwing a hot dog down the hallway. Name that player. Name that player. We started with baseball this morning. Jordan Lawler is the correct answer. Jordan Lawler. Max with the point. All right. I don't know why Dan says, what the fuck? What the fuck? Let's see. Max, 35. All right. Next up, football. All right, football fans. Actually, we're going to, oh, shit. I'm going to have to use, you can see through the Post-it note. All right. Jordan Lawler was the answer. Now we go to football. We're going to keep that's kind of hard. So you got to know your Bengals. Know your Bengals. Dan says, no ultra modern baseball. Dan only wants cards that he knows. Tyler Eifert is correct. Matt Like. Tyler Eifert. Matt is up to 9 points. You are now tied with Harlan. Max says, I'm with Max on this one. Dan doesn't get to choose anymore. He chose non-sport last week and didn't get a point. All right, NASCAR fans. Where's Kyle? Card Hobbyist says that scammer dude should show up again. Is there anybody that knows NASCAR? Otherwise, we might skip the second one. We'll see how this one goes. We have NASCAR drivers being named in the chat, but I don't think we have a correct. Oh, I think we do have a correct. Yes, we do. We have a couple correct. I know Max has a basement filled with NASCAR cards, but I don't think he knows them. That dude from Duryea, Jeremy Mayfield. All right. I think some others got that one too. So that dude from Duryea gets the point. Max says storage unit. Okay. I thought somebody else got Mayfield. I guess not. So just one. Rich says showing a car is not the best way to get the right answer. Well, I mean, if I showed you a Jeff Gordon car, you would know what that is. NASCAR fans know their driver. You would probably know the car better than the face on NASCAR. I think they go hand in hand. How often do you see drivers' faces during a race? Let's see. That dude from Duryea got it. So where's he at? That dude from Duryea. 2 points for that dude. 2 points. All righty. And oh, shit. Okay, there we go. And boom. Next up. Some cars may have multiple drivers. I don't know NASCAR, but it says Jeremy Mayfield on the card. So that's what we're going with. Let's see. Rusty Wallace's teammate back in the day. Oh, shit. Did I put... No, must have got stuck together. There's another Jordan Lawler. So I don't know if I had two in my... Where's my Jets fans? I know there's a couple in here. Was this guy a first rounder? He was. 30th overall. Wilkerson is correct. Muhammad Wilkerson. Matt Like. He's 2 for 2 on football today. Oh, it was not Fugason or Ferguson. It was Muhammad Wilkerson. Matt Like with another point. And he is up to 10. It has leapfrogged Harlan. Matt with 10. So we know who our football guy is. I am glad Scotty Dubs is not participating since he's driving. Shout out to Scotty Dubs. He's coming over to help me sort today. All right. Next up, we're going back to back on football. Max, you should know this one. Where's the Packers at? Quarterback. Oh, wow. Card hobbyist. Damn. Everybody knows it's Matt Flynn. How the hell do y'all know it's Matt Flynn? Jeez. I thought like one person, maybe two would get this. Everybody gets Matt Flynn. All right. Let's go. We got to go to the Matt Flynn is correct. Who was the first? Card hobbyist. Confirmed. Card hobbyist. Matt Flynn. Fast fingers and all. That is 15 points for card hobbyist. Separates himself with Dan by another point. I love some of the guesses. Don Makowski. Good guess. Ty Detmer. Some classic Packer quarterbacks. Max says, now we know who has the internet advantage. Not today for Max. Card hobbyist. Okay. I will take this character's name or his real name. This is a gimme. Here's today's gimme. It's non-sports for you, Dan. Pee Wee Herman. I would have taken Paul Rubens also. Pee Wee, I will take. Pee Wee's Playhouse. All right, I think Card Hobbyist was the fastest. We had a couple come boom boom. Card Hobbyist just ahead of Bob. And Card Hobbyist now has back-to-back, and he's at 16. Ooh, you're catching up on Flipping Sports Guy. Where's he been? Flipping Sports Guy has 22. Max in first with 35. All right, next we're going back to baseball. Brian, if you hit refresh, that may help. Hit refresh. Let's see. Johnny, hit refresh on the video stream. Card Hobby says, not going to lie, I had an aluminum foil ball because of Pee Wee's Playhouse. Brian says there were two answers before the card was even shown. It's either your slow internet or you need to refresh. So I think everybody can refresh if you're experiencing slowness. We've got Dan's favorite ultra modern baseball. Who is this Bowman prospect for the San Diego Padres? It is CJ Abrams. Card hobbyist again. Smoking y'all today. Max says, I got in trouble in a movie theater. Max probably risked a point for typing all of that out. CJ Abrams, card hobbyist. And card hobbyist is now at 17. Making that run. All right. Rich says he has a big lead. He can afford the extra words. All right, here we go. The Chargers. I don't know. We'll see if I have to give a hint on this. I don't know. Matt Like is pretty good. Oh, we don't have to give any hints. We've got a lot of correct answers. Card hobbyist, Bob, Matt, Max, all correct. He's now a Chicago Bear. It's Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is correct, and I think card hobbyist was first again. Let's see. Card Hobbyist. Card Hobbyist, you're making a run. All right. Making this a closer game. Card Hobbyist, 18. So we've got Max in first with 35. Still a really comfortable lead. Second place, Flipping Sports Guy with 22. Card Hobbyist has 18. Dan, Korean Cardboard, still hanging tough with 12 points. Joe Trotto with 11. Matt Like reached double figures today with 10. We still have more opportunities with 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards left. Matt says YouTube shows me as first. Well, I'll go back. I show Card Hobbyist Allen, Bob McFarland. I show Matt Like is third. Matt Like is third. And it looks like Unicorn Cupcake and Max also say third. All right, here we go. This is a gimme. Football. Marino is correct. Card Hobbyist. Card Hobbyist. Dan Marino. Where we at? Card Hobbyist, Dan Marino. Card Hobbyist with another point. 19. Oh, I like this guess. Don Stock. There's a name. Or Strock. There's a name. Blast from the past. Laces out, Dan. Card Hobby is putting Kurt's juice on his router. All right. More ultra-modern baseball. More ultra-modern baseball for Korean Cardboard. Another San Diego Padres prospect. And I think he was he recently called up, or at least he's making some noise. Let's see. It is not Ethan Salas. It is not Robert Hassel. It is not Yu Darvish. Jackson Merrill is correct. Joe Trotto. Jackson Merrill. There they came along after Joe. Joe set the tone. Jackson Merrill. Joe Trotto. Just confirm. Merrill, Joe Trotto was first. 12 points, and you now tie Dan. All righty. We're going back to NASCAR. And I'm sorry, it's a picture of a car. Be prepared. It's another picture of a car. Ooh. I did not realize. I don't even have to. All right. Here we go. I did not know this guy drove. I need the driver of this car, who's featured on the back of this card. Ford and Chevy do not get points for. I didn't know this guy drove. It's a Chevy, by the way. It is a Chevrolet. I didn't know this guy drove NASCAR. Apparently he did in 1994. We've got NASCAR drivers being named. Let's see. It is it's not a Ford, it's a Chevy. Let's see. It's not Richard Petty. It's not Hamlin. It's not any of the Pettys. It's not Tony Stewart. It's not any of the Bushes. I like what you're doing there, though, with Petty and Bush, since there's multiples. It's not Dick Trickle. It's not Kenny Schrader or Schroeder. It's not Wallace, another one where you could have multiples. I will. We don't need. I said I would. This name. There's also many of the last name that drive cars. I thought they were all IndyCar racers, but apparently John Andretti did a little NASCAR racing. I think this is NASCAR, isn't it? Hot look, Winston Cup. That's the NASCAR. John Andretti. We'll take last name. John Andretti. So a couple people coming on in. Ooh, Bradley, we would not have given you credit for kind of like Jeopardy. Last name we'll accept, but if you screw up the first name, no points. But Card Hobbyist got it. Card Hobbyist with a point. And he is now at 20 points. 20 points for the card hobbyist. All right. No more NASCAR today, so you can breathe a sigh of relief. No wrestling today either. Those are apparently our kryptonite on Name That Player. We're going back to football. So we've got football, non-sport, and football. Let's see. I'm trying to get this to where it shows the team, but not the player's name. I think everybody will get this one. I think not everybody, but I think a lot of people will get this one correct. For the Rams, so far, it looks like we've got 4 correct answers. Yes, it is Donald. It's Aaron Donald. They all came in at the same time, so we will have to check the YouTube to make sure we get the correct first person on. I have Card Hobbyist as first, Max as second, Matt as third, and Bob as fourth. It is Aaron Donald. Looks like that's how it came on my screen as well. Card Hobbyist. And you are pushing for second place. 21 points. Just one behind Flipping Sports Guy. All right, 2 more. Rick says, when I see 4 answers before I process and then type, I don't worry about adding to that part of the chat. Max says, ban Dan. It was not Sosa. All right, non-sports. We give Dan another opportunity to redeem himself. It's like, only non-sports musicians that I listen to from night. This is what Dan wants. Dan wants non-sport, but only Star Trek or music he listened to from 1989 to 1991. Sorry, Dan. I'm picking on Dan today. I'm sorry. Who is this? I want the character name. But because I think there's multiple names on the back and I don't know. But it looks like we have correct answers. I will take last name on this. And it looks like Card Hobbyist got both first and last. It is Annie Oakley. Let me make sure we are Annie Oakley, Card Hobbyist, first on my board. And he now ties for second place. 22 points. All right, last one up. It's football. Another quarterback. I think you'll get this one. If you get Matt Flynn, I think you'll get this guy. Last one of the day. Good luck. Tennessee Titans. It is Jake Locker. Jake Locker and Card Hobbyist. Wow, coming to play. And he really showed his chops, not just with football. I think he got baseball. He got non-sport. Card Hobbyist all over. And with his correct, let me make sure. Card Hobbyist confirmed. He moves into second place today. What a run for Card Hobbyist. A lot of points. How many points did you get today? Had to be like 8 or more. So Card Hobbyist in second place. Oops, almost deleted the wrong one. Card Hobbyist. So Max did get 1 point today, so he extends his lead by just 1 point. Card Hobbyist in second with 23. Flipping Sports Guy 22. Dan, Korean Cardboard, and Joe Trotto tied with 12. Matt moved up a couple points. He's got 10. Harlan has 9. Uncle Rich has 7. Porter 6. Scotty Dubs, he's driving. He has 5 points. Flawed Thinker also with 5, along with Merle. John, that 70s Card Show, he was MIA today. He has 4. Brian Bourne, he was here. He has 3. Huddle Card Collection and Tom Gibson with 3. Jordan Brown has 2, along with Bronco, SoCal Guy, Dat Dude from Duryea, Philly Joe, and John Maybe all with 2. Mark Marinello, Christian Diego, Michael Reneke, They have 1 point along with Neil Cublin. Dak T-Mac fan also has a point. Spam Likely. Where's Spam Likely been? Dave Arnold has a point. Shane Zager has a point. He's usually watching on replay. Bill Simus and Terry McDaniel along with Shane Koopmans. No Turtles today, so he went to work. And Charlie has a point as well. Let's go into the chat before we wrap it up for the day. Max wants to know what Card Hobbyist's secret is. On the other side of the wall? Or just a benefit of fast internet. Card Hobbyist says, I'm hiding out with the duck in a laptop. There you go. I did see the duck this morning. He was making his rounds early this morning. Dan says, that ruined my day. Good night. I'm sorry, Dan. Brian says, I knew a few of these, just not fast enough. Y'all are impressive. There's some fast fingers in here, and they know their shit. Card Hobbyist won't be here next week, so we'll fall back for sure. Well, you've got a pretty good lead, or a pretty good stranglehold on second place. Flipping Sports Guy hasn't been with us for a week or two, so you never know. Did Dan get banned? He didn't answer on a non-sport. I know. He's here. Unicorn Cupcake. These guys must have like 20 fingers. Max has 11. He's like Antonio Alfonseca. Rich Klein says you have shows both days this weekend. Correct. Hobby Evolution. Yes. We'll go live Saturday and Sunday here on Hobby Evolution. Let's see. Actually, Saturday will be a little, Saturday show will probably be like a normal weekday time because I'm helping my wife at her office with a shredding event, the Shredder. So I think that event starts at 9. So I'll have to be up like my weekday time. So I'll probably do 7 a.m. on Saturday. Bob's hitting worse than Jackson Holiday. Herman's going to go feed his hens. Have a great day. Card Hobbyist, have a great weekend. On your way out, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Link in the description. Shop, adding some new inventory. So have a great day. Scotty Dubs, drive safe. You're probably listening and driving right now. Thank you for not playing Name That Player as you drive. Let's see. Donald says, don't use Kurt's card care on cards before sending to PSA. Competing on laptop is faster than a phone. I've learned the hard way. I'm still not any good. Playing Ollie North off weekend. Have a good day. Good day. Like, subscribe. Tomorrow is Saturday. Shit. Tomorrow is Saturday. For some reason, I thought today was Thursday. Tomorrow morning I will go live. And I will go live earlier than I normally do on Saturday. So probably 7 a.m. Central tomorrow morning. We'll sleep in on Sunday. Go live at about 9 a.m. So have a great day. If you don't join me on weekends, have a great weekend. We'll see you either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Like, subscribe. See you tomorrow.